So excited about it. I think I hit a button by mistake, but it was good. I mean, just a little extra bit of saltiness. You couldn't really taste potato chips. So I think if I do it again, I'll just buy some Reese's and buy some Ruffles Wavy Lays. Because the extra bit of saltiness is good. And you know what I miss? Like going to the movie theater and having like a huge bag of popcorn and gummy bears and Raisinets fall into the popcorn, and it's so good. I miss that. I don't think I'm ever going to the movies again. Not necessarily because I don't know if there's a ban on it or not, but just because, after all that, everybody has semi-movie theaters at home now, huge TVs and all that. And then once you put that panorama thing out that they had in place, that made it so you made people stop going to movies that were just going out of habit. So now it's like I don't even want to go to a movie no more. But I miss and remember, like I said, the price I didn't like, but the movie popcorn with bits of gummy bears and Raisinets and stuff like that. And I'm tired now. Goodness gracious. Yeah, but so many different stories. But the story about them putting those flyers in my mailbox, I was angry. But when I went to look at the flyers and see what they were for, God gave me an understanding. I still didn't like them touching my stuff, and I didn't like the attitude that girl had about it. But, what it was for was like for migrant workers or something like that, and I think she thought I was trying to be smart. So she was just like, she was trying to get me to stay so that she could have something to say about me. And she was saying it in Spanish, and I can understand too. So I said back to her in Spanish. And she was basically telling me I work two jobs, speak two languages, blah, blah, blah. And I did come out look crazier than this. I had a full-fledged afro because I hadn't showered yet in the morning. And I had my pink nightgown thing on. And I had shoes half on, half off. And my hair had really turned into like a super big, it was a real fro. There were no curls. It was a fro. And so, yeah, and I want to say this about Black people. There's nothing wrong with learning someone else's language. Everybody in the U.S. these days, even if they admit it or not, you can speak Spanish. Don't act like you can't, because you're supposed to with so much. You speak some Spanish. And I think that a lot of times if you ever get into a little Latin person, the thought process is that, if they speak two languages, you only speak one. Or even if you do speak two, you're not proud to be able to speak it. So claim it. Claim all of that. But yeah, so I felt bad afterwards. Not bad, but God gave me an understanding that, hey, I'm complaining about these people putting this stuff in my mailbox, but they're pushing just like I'm trying to push. I just don't like people messing with my stuff. And then I had to put myself in place, because I was like, that's what I should be doing. Not putting stuff in people's mailboxes, because, I know I don't like people doing that unless you with the post office. Don't be doing shit. but that's what I should be doing. I know, Mike. Hey, Mike, let me ask you something. Because when I left you the last time, it kind of scares me sometimes. I feel like you on here enough where I speak to you comfortably. But I know that you're looking out for my well-being, and what you're saying is true. I don't need to be out here. And it is dark. But and what you're saying is true, but I need my tampons. But sometimes I get a little bit scared, because when I think about it, you don't know who you're talking to. And so, you're not someone that lives in a neighborhood that's like, this is crazy, but I'm just saying it anyways. You're not look at the moon, it's nice, right? Can y'all see the moon? It's really pretty. Let me see if I can turn it around. In the middle of the parking lot. Ain't that pretty? It's pretty. Pretty. But, yeah, you're not someone that like lives in a neighborhood or whatever, and you're a bunch of like drug thugs. Okay, good. Because I started getting scared, because I thought about it. What if Mike Jones is just like somebody that's around the corner and creeping, and he's like, I'm trying to tell Shore to get back in the house, because my homeboy is out there, and my homeboy said they're gonna snatch the next person they see walking down the street, and she always be out there by herself. I'm trying, that's the mindset that I had. I was like, no, that would be pretty scary, but yeah. But it's gonna be a minute before I get back in, because I'm going all the way to Walmart, and I need tampons. I gotta get my big tampons They don't even have, OB is the only tampons that I use. And I'm sure you have sisters and whatever, so sisters, friends, whatever. But they're the only tampons I use. And I have like the regular size, the little ones at home, the regular, but I need ultra. I need the big ones, because if not, what that means is that every time I go to the bathroom, I'm swapping out them little tampons. Like, you swap them out anyways, but more than every time, because even when I don't have to go to the bathroom, I have to swap them out all the time because they're so little. And then so they get filled up faster. And so then, not only am I wasting all the tampons, then wipes. I'm like doing tons of wipes, wiping everything really, really, really good. Then towards tons of toilet paper. So you waste so much paper products. But if you just have the tampons that are right for you, then you don't have to work. I know, I'm going right. I need some female friends. I'm going really, really into it. Speaking of nasty stuff like that, I remember when we were teenagers, tampons used to come in these little plastic things with little colorful pastel, marketing for girls pretty much, colorful pastel covers. And I remember one of the girls in class had asked another girl for a tampon. She passed it to him. One of the boys thought it was candy, and he was like, oh, give me one. And then she gave him one. He opened it. He was like, what's this? And then he put it in his mouth and everything. And she started laughing. He was like, what is this? And then she was like, it's a tampon. He was like, what's that? She told him. And the look on his face, oh my God. And then I remember being in a shelter. Same thing. Shelter, you're thinking there's grown men working there, you know. But you got to realize that just because somebody's grown in age don't mean they've been around the block. They know what's going on. The boy had to be somewhere between, I think he was like maybe 20, 21. I think he was of Haitian descent, but he was light-skinned Haitian. And he was the sweetest heart, so sweet. He was very helpful to all of us. And I forgot what it was. Somebody asked him for a tampon and he didn't know what it was. Then again, they described it to him and he was so embarrassed. He couldn't look us in the face. He would not come anywhere near the girls. Nobody said anything vulgar. It was just the fact that it was tampons and what they were used for. And he literally was dry heaving, like he was gonna throw up. Yep. Yeah, women have it hard. And I told y'all my cycle was coming on because I was so tired. And look at me walking through the back cuts. I like these trees. But I was so tired. This is scary. But I was telling y'all my cycle was probably dropping because I was so tired and so ill. But yeah, hopefully, I'm glad it's going to be over hopefully this week because it started. But now it's like getting heavy, so. But yeah, so that's what I learned, because then when I looked at the flyer and I saw what they was trying to do, even though I was mad at them, I didn't like the way that the girl handled that. They was doing it for a good cause, you know. And then it was like God spoke to me and was just like, you know, don't be talking to people like that, because, you know, that's what you should be doing. You know, you have a whole business out here that you done paid your money for, this, that, and other. And, you know, and you sitting in here doing this. And, you know, they out there pounding the street. You know, that's what you should be doing. So God chastised me. It's the equivalent of me getting my butt whooped, because that's how I felt when I saw what it was for. I felt so bad, and God was right about that. You know, that's what I should be doing, walking around handing out flyers. You know, but and the other part that God chastised me, she chastised me about the businesses twice. So on the other end of that, I needed a notary, right? So I'm looking up notaries, and I see one girl, and it's a young girl. She looked like one of the girls I was talking about at Piggly Wiggly, like little robots. But and that's what God's trying to tell me. Everybody's past me. I gotta catch up. I'm never gonna catch up at this age, but I gotta at least show some type of vindication for myself that I'm a good person. So, you know, I was looking for notaries. I was online. And I saw this girl, you know, in Valdosta, and I felt so bad because I was like, I should have my notary. You know, I should be a notary, you know. And this girl looked like she's fresh out of high school. Looked like one of the little girls that be running around like 10 years old, you know, bushy hair, short shorts, and just running and making a lot of noise. But she got her head on straight. Little website. Her website is not fancy. It just says, hey, notary service. Mobile notary service at that, you know. And I was looking at her reviews, excellent reviews all the way, and I believe them because sometimes people make up beliefs, but I believe her reviews because diverse people, white, black, old, young, and pictures, pictures of her looking crazy like me, even though she looked like a rug rat with some distinguished white people behind her, talking about some satisfied customer. That's and God chastised me. That's what I should be doing. Instead of writing reviews about places, I should be having reviews written about me, with me looking crazy like this, not on the live stream, but me looking crazy like this with people that's willing to stand behind me as a customer looking crazy like this because I gave them some good service, So God punished me so many ways. I mean, he was just waking me up, just like, get your shit together. Yep. And you never know, who you come across and what they know and what they could give you. I'm old. I'm old. There's stuff that, I could probably get put on if I play my cards right, I mean, there's so much opportunity. And that's what God was telling me. You get mad about somebody looking at your mailbox. The boy was the young man, he's not what you think he is. He was trying to read, not because he was being nosy, because he saw something to read and he wanted to learn to read or better his reading. Everybody don't think like you. Everybody, and just like that, I'm not as attractive as I used to be. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. I'm not as well-spoken as I used to be. Definitely not as clean as I used to be. But when I was in Overtown, right? There was a Puerto Rican girl that lived next door to me, and to me, I thought she was beautiful. Long, big, bushy, curly hair. At that time, I had long, black hair, curly. And, both of us was kind of thick. She was a little bit thicker than me. And, I always run around exercising in my shorts, whatever. And she's always had these long-ass jogging pants on. But she'd always wear, like, real suggestive stuff, like, just outdoor sex, or whatever. And so she was advertising for stuff. And I didn't believe it. She had a little boy that was, like, 11 or 12. And I was like, why would she advertise like that? It's just a need. Some people have a need for it, like hunger, And I was just like, knowing that she had that spice to her or whatever, I was just like, why don't you ever wear shorts? You always wear long pants, right? And she was just like, not everybody got it like you. She was like, I'm hairy. I was like, I'm hairy too, but back then I shaved. Now it's just like, whatever. But, I was like, I'm hairy too, but I shave. You just shave, And she was like, oh, she'll like the razor. I was like, there's no excuse to be hairy. Just get it off, Enjoy your body while you got it, But everybody don't think like you. She didn't feel confident about herself. Even though from me looking, I was just like, that's the type of girls that guys like, big, thick, curly hair, and the lighter, back then, the lighter the better. So, I was just like, if you like it and you trying to whatever, but everybody ain't the same. And I realized that. I realized it. And so that's what God was teaching me all these past few days. And it was just back to back. And it probably wasn't even a week, probably 3-4 days maybe. But it was back to back messages just like that. And like I said, normally, I tell everything. No, not everybody. This ain't nobody's type. This is scary. When I was younger and I was more attractive, I used to consider dating myself. I'd be like, that was how I would gauge my attractiveness. Would I date me? And I'm just like, yo, if somebody approached me looking like me down the street, I would scream. There was a guy that was on TikTok, and you said he was a nice guy, but aesthetically and commercially unappealing. And he would go, and you know how some guys would walk up and they can go up to a group of people and they do like the peace sign or do a pose and take a selfie with some strangers they don't know. So he wanted to prove a point, and he proved it. He was really, really dark skinned, and he didn't have swag, And he'd walk up to a group of people and do the peace sign or whatever, and they would all be like repulsed, And when I see me sometimes, not to be mean to myself, I can see I can see that. And sometimes, like I said, I don't care. Look at me. I came outside just like this. and didn't try to fix nothing up, didn't try to touch nothing up. As far as clothing, I was like, I'm gonna put on some shorts. My legs are not shaved. I'm gonna put on some shorts. They're not like apple bottom boots, hairy, but if you took the time to look, you see what you was looking for. But I don't know, I think, and I don't look at myself bad for doing it. I just, even though I know that you should be marketing yourself, but I mean, I like me as is, for better or for worse. For richer or poor, to death do me part. Speaking of which, I don't know if you guys, I happened across, I had this movie playing in the background called Seeking, I remember hearing about Sister Wives or whatever, and I was like, that's so creepy, because it's always like some white people on a farm somewhere. And I'm just like, no, no way. But there was this series called Seeking Sister Wives on TLC, right? And and I remember, and these are regular American people, not Mormons, whatever. And they threw the black couple, the black throuple or whatever. I'm hearing music, but nobody's over here, so I'm trying to look and make sure ain't nobody here that I just can't see. But am I going the right way? Yeah, okay. So they had all these thruples. And at first, I've been approached like that before, and one of them was in Atlanta. I'm not gonna talk about it, but it's exactly like that, like what they're talking about. Like, we're basically, but I was approached with it out of the blue, but the end line is kind of what they're saying. But all of them were supposed to try to find these extra sister wives or whatever. And you can see with a lot of the couples, and that's what I saw in the couple that had approached me, was that I didn't see it, but the girl just told me straight up. She didn't tell me, I wouldn't know. But basically, the thought process is for the women, when they're being real about it, is that the reason that they're agreeing to do this, to bring somebody into their relationship, is because they feel like, they need love, right? Some people got to have love, got to have it. They got to be booed up with somebody. And, this is the person they want to be with, but they know this person is going to cheat, right? And instead of not knowing who they're cheating with or having all these questions, they help out. They pick the girl. You know what I'm saying? They pick the girl. And, if they get down like that, they get down like that, And that's what it is. But in this sister wives thing, it's just, in the end, at first I was kind of, it was kind of the feeling process I went through when I saw all of that. I was like, okay, typical, that basically these women, they don't have no self-esteem. They are, they really just want to be with this dude, and they'll do whatever this man say to be with him, right? Or whatever pleases him is what they're going to do. And it reminds me in my younger days when I had my ex, and this is a long time ago. I remember because I wanted to explore things, and that's why I had gotten a quote-unquote boyfriend anyways. But, I had asked him, a few things. And it's so funny because I was like the male part of that throuple where I'm just like, hey, this is what I would like. And he's just like, are you serious? Are you freaking kidding me? But the other way around. So should talk about all that. But yeah, so let me erase the board so I can get back on track. So so about the throuple. So the emotions that I went through watching all this stuff was that, most of the couples were white, of course. They threw one that was kind of Mormon, Amish kind of in there. But the first impression that I got, or emotion that I had, was like, these women, they're just trying to satisfy their man. They want to keep this man. They want him around no matter what. They don't want to be alone and lonely. So whatever it takes for this man to be happy, if he likes it, they love it. And it reminds me of back in the day when women weren't really into sports, and women would start pretending to be into sports so that they could be with their man. And I remember when I had a boyfriend, I never pretended to be into sports, but I was just like, damn, on Sundays, he'd be up at 5 o'clock. It was crazy. He would be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, listening to some sports show at the same time, recording some plays from sports and watching TV watching TV at one time, and then having the internet on sports somewhere else, and then in the other room have the TV on another sports. It was crazy, like all day long on Sunday, from start to finish. On Friday and Saturday, he'll surprise me with going out wherever, blah, blah, blah. But on Sunday, that was his home day, sports day. That's all he doing, period. So, I've seen that in action. And I've never been one of those girlfriend type girls. But I've seen that in action, And men used to get down like that all day long. All day. All day. They'll give you your Saturday and your Friday. But on Sunday, it was sports all day long. I mean, you weren't there. But you were, but you weren't. And the way that I found myself trying to participate, it's like I'd be making wings or making the food and stuff like that. Or try to get a little get-together, with some other couples and stuff. But, yeah, so... But again, the throuple thing, that's what I felt like it was equated to. Like when women would try to get, try to make themselves get interested in sports because their boyfriends or significant others were. And that's what that whole threesome or whatever, throuple, polyamory, whatever you want to call it. That's what all that looks like to me. But then I saw the black couple. You know, the black couple was named Dimitri, Ashley, and Vanessa. Wow. At first I was just like, You know, Vanessa's mixed. She's like black and white. Dimitri, to me, he looks like an average dude. But if you're an average dude with money and you got dreads and you got a little bit of power, that makes you okay. Ashley, you know, they're both attractive in their own right, you know. And I remember watching it and being a mixed person, I kind of could see some of the things that Vanessa was going through, but she was trying to be, she was good. I thought she was a really good person. But like on one part, she just started wrapping her hair all the way up because it was her hair, you know. She probably noticed or somebody was saying something about her hair, and so she put it up, you know, so that it didn't give her an advantage. But I think that what happened with them, and they had this gorgeous wedding. If you get a chance, check it out. I think it was season 2, episode 11 was when the wedding came about. I'm trying to show y'all the moon. There was a throuple wedding. It was Mrs., Mr., and Mrs. Snowden. I thought it was just so, you know, I was like, how is this going to work? I thought it was going to be like a disaster, but actually it was really, really beautiful, really nice. You know, in some parts, I felt that they was trying to downplay Vanessa or make sure that she didn't look as regal. They put her some little fairy get up, but she looked beautiful anyway. But I started to feel, what I'm starting to feel about couples and things like that is that, what I'm starting to feel about couples and things like that is that, and I don't know because I haven't been in enough relationships or with enough men to know, but I feel like just from observing and things that I catch on social media and the little bit that I've had a chance to observe, I feel like in that black throuple, I feel like he really loved his, like Ashley or whatever. He never got married to her or whatever because they were trying to build a tribe, and you know, I can understand, but I feel like he really did love her. But I think after a while, maybe men just get tired and they want to do something better, not better, but something different. You know, he still loves her, but he needed some excitement or whatever. And because basically they ran through like 3 other girls, you know, and it wasn't her, like she wasn't participating in it. She was strictly, basically, the men were getting all the women that they wanted with the approval of the wife, is what it looked like to me. And the women were monogamous to that man, and they weren't sleeping with each other or anything weird, freaky like that. Not at least not in the season that I watched. But that's what I got the feeling of, because then I could tell he really loved Ashley, but I could tell he was really thrilled by Vanessa, or I think that's her name, Vanessa. And even when they had the wedding, you know, he treated Ashley with reverence and respect, but Vanessa, he didn't kiss Ashley. At least they didn't show the camera. He didn't kiss Ashley's feet, and that's the woman he was with 10 years. But he sure did tenderly kiss Vanessa's feet. And then, like the marriage kiss or whatever, he kissed her like 3 or 4 times. It was passionate, like he really couldn't get enough. But with his wife, he kissed it one time, like, okay. And it was love there. I saw love there, but it wasn't passion, you know? So maybe that's what's missing, you know? And I think in the end, I don't know this to be true, but I think in the end, Ashley could see, and Dimitri could see that he was liking Vanessa more, you know? Not to say nothing bad about Ashley, but it was just like that, you know? And I think that in relationships like that, it's gonna always be like that, where the new girl, if she's attractive, she's gonna get more attention because it's something new, you know what I'm saying? First of all, it's something new, and she may potentially be more attractive, or she may teach them something that they didn't know before. So, yeah, but with the other thruples, it was really like really, really cringeworthy because you could tell that these women did not want to do that. Like one, like every time she got really sick, and when she saw her and her husband, you could tell the men weren't really in it for any good reasons. You know, they were straight dogs. They just wanted to fuck, you know, they just wanted to have as much sex as they wanted and still have the comfort of their wife, you know. And it was disgusting, real disgusting. And one guy, his wife actually looked better than the second girl. And the women always have the from what I saw, had the utmost respect for each other. You know, the dudes be pushing to go on and sleep together and do this, that, and the other. And the women be not like, nah, you know, or they'll tell and say, yeah, we were intimate or whatever. But I like the way that Ashley and Dimitri did theirs, because they had laws set down. And for the most part, if Ashley was really jealous, she didn't show it or make it so you know, she had a maturity about it. She didn't make it so that everybody else felt uncomfortable because of it, you know. But she also drew her lines, you know, that, hey, we can't be intimate. And just like when she did that 21-day fasting thing, you know, I think that also bought her some time because she wasn't ready for them to sleep together, you know. So yeah, so I'm good. I got all the talking out of my system. So now I think I'm good to go shop in peace. S-I-P, sip, sips, shop in peace. I'll probably be back if I get scared or if I just need motivation to keep walking. But this has been a good walk. I got a nice little glow. You got the glow. So I'm good. And thanks, Mike Jones, for always being there, because it's helpful to know that somebody, anybody, one person at least see you and got your back. So thank you. Bye. Thanks to everybody else that stopped by too. I appreciate y'all as well.